I am so mixed about Loki. There's parts of it I love. There's parts of it I don't like, which is like the time narrative, this whole multiple reality string theory thing that Marvel has adopted and just gone crazy with it. They've legit gone crazy with this, and to the point where I don't have the time for all these alternate dimensions and time things anymore. I just keep it simple. Keep it simple and stick to one timeline. Am I right? Can I see some ones in the chat if you agree with me? It was cool to start. It was a cool narrative to start off with. For a year and a half or two, I kind of was into it, but now it's just going overboard where everything's an alternate reality and a timeline. Thank God there's some rational people up in this chat that agree with me. And I'm very mixed on Loki for this very reason, because I thought the writing was very good, but at the same time, it's kind of like an old... It's old now. Like this alternate timeline string theory shit is just like, it's too much for me to keep track of everything going on, to the point where they've just run this narrative into the ground. They've run it into the ground. I'm tired of it. And for that reason, I'm going to give Loki a sad trombone. And, you know, close your ears right now, because there's a little spoiler about to happen here that I'm going to let out. So just close your ears, go la 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 la, if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it. I'm going to say right now, they made Loki too nice, period. Loki is the god of mischief. Mischief. Okay. Loki started out cool, but Loki should have kept being evil, kept being mischievous. You know, and he became like this good guy. And if you watched all the way to the end, by the way, spoiler alert, the end where he's sitting there holding all these, by the way, close your ears again, where he's holding all the timelines together and says everything, and he just sits there at the very end. It's so unbelievably stupid, because Loki would get bored so fast just sitting there holding everything together. There is no possible way that I would ever trust Loki holding all the timelines together. Now, if you're mad because I spoiled you, shame on you. I told you I was going to spoil you. You should have closed your ears. Okay? Now we're going to watch Ryan George's rendition of it. Let's check it out.
So, you have some new Marvel content for me? Yes, sir, I do.
I did start out caring for him, but
this
at the very
strategy of ours to dump hours and hours of Marvel content onto Disney Plus? Yeah. It was maybe a mistake. Oh. Yeah, we might have messed up on that. Anyway, too late to stop now, so what's next? Well, I was thinking we do Loki Season 2. Oh, everybody's favorite villain that hasn't been an actual villain in about 10 years. Exactly.
Big truth bomb right there. Loki is the god of mischief. Keep him mischievous.
I say we double down on this show because it was one of the few ones people actually seem to like. Very true. So what's going to happen to Loki this time around? Well, you know how in season 1 Loki kind of learned to make selfless decisions for the greater good? Sure. Well, in this season, he's going to learn to make selfless decisions for the even greater good. I like that. So after Sylvie killed He Who Remains at the end of season 1, Loki starts doing this thing called time slipping. What does that mean? It means he glitches like a video game character and uncontrollably jumps around to different times and places. Interesting. Yeah, and since he's going back in time, that means he can do stuff then that affects the future. I feel like that's not the explanation we had for time travel in Avengers Endgame. Yeah, well, time works differently at the TVA, meaning... It means that now that I've said that, I can do whatever I want and you have to get all the way off my back about it. Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing of yours. So anyway, to stop the time slipping from happening, Mobius and Loki go see this guy named OB because he wrote the TVA handbook.
By the way, wasn't this the kid from Goonies? I was trying to tell Christy this. This was the kid from Goonies, remember, with all the gadgets and everything? Yes! Thank you! Thank you!
Yes, sir! You're not gonna hate me!
I almost want to call right now because she kept telling me no. She kept saying no, DG. I'm like, that is the dude from Goonies. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And he says that this is happening because there are so many branching timelines that this thing called the temporal loom is overloading. Uh-oh, those sound like important time words. So what do? Well, Mobius has to bring this device to the loom, but there's a risk of his skin peeling off and spaghettification, and Loki has to prune himself at the same time. Pruning and spaghettification? That's right. Horrible death words that make me hungry or tight. All right. So anyway, after all that, it still seems like this thing's gonna overload. Uh-oh. So they go find Sylvie in hiding to get her to help. And where's Sylvie hiding? Well, she's in the past working at whatever fast food chain the studio has a good relationship with. Probably McDonald's. I'm loving it. So Sylvie adores working at this McDonald's because of the fantastic work culture and delicious selection of food. They have a whole variety of delicious offerings, which will be discussed by the...
By the way, putting McDonald's in there is such a corpo move, man. I wonder how much McDonald's paid for that ad placement, man. You know what I'm saying? When I saw this, I was like, this is shameful. Like the McDonald's cups and the McDonald's and the McDonald's. Although it was cool to see the McDonald's from the 80s, because I do miss the McDonald's from the 80s. I miss the McDonald's apple pie from the 80s. It was the super unhealthy fry pie. Everybody misses the super unhealthy fry pie, man. That McDonald's fry pie was the shit. Whether you got the apple or the cherry, that thing was crispy and delicious and filled with lard. And I miss it. I wanted my heart attack. That's why I bought it. I bought it for the heart attack. Get out of here with your healthy baked pie. I don't want your healthy baked pie. I want the 1980s fried lard apple and cherry pie. Can I get an amen and somebody witness and testify to that? Put a 1 in the chat if you miss the old fried pies. Damn it. Damn it.
The characters, yeah, but Sylvie doesn't want to help out, even though they tell her that her whole timeline's going to stop existing if she doesn't. How does that make sense? Free will or something. Now Opie realizes he needs the temporal aura of He Who Remains or Miss Minutes to fix this loom thing. All right. So everybody goes back to 1893 Chicago to find a He Who Remains variant named Victor Timely. Right. And there's a whole bunch of chaos, and he ends up getting away with Miss Minutes. Oh, yeah, the cartoon clock lady. That's the one. But she confesses that she wants to have a...
Okay, Miss Minutes is freaking me out. You want to talk about horror? Miss Minutes is horror. Don't believe me? Watch it. If I haven't spoiled you already. It's like every time I see Miss Minutes, this is what's going on. Scariest Marvel character. Fight me. Miss Minutes, man. Scariest villain of all time. Miss Minutes coming to a theater near you. I would watch a movie about Miss Minutes. No, I wouldn't.
The physical form because she's in love with them and wants them to, you know, physically be together. Oh, flirtatious clocks are tight. What? So then what happens? No. What did you mean by that? By what? Well, you implied that you're very familiar with the concept of flirtatious clocks. I don't have a weird secret. I didn't use that term. You did just now. Stop. Okay, so anyway, Victor Timely's not into clocks in that way, so he shuts her down, and then the good guys manage to bring him to the TVA. Oh, well, good for them. And Victor Timely's gonna be like, what is going on? Well, what's that voice you're doing? Well, he's a big old smart science nerd, so he talks like that. Oh, he does? Yeah, he talks like Donald Glover at the 2-minute mark of the Derek comedy sketch Jerry from 16 years ago. What? Yeah. Kind of a super specific reference. It's accurate. I just don't know that anyone's familiar with that, and they should type Derek Comedy Jerry into the YouTube search bar and see how Donald Glover talks at the 2-minute mark. Where are you looking? You got a freaking clock over there? No, and so then they need to send Victor to fix the loom, but he turns into spaghetti, and then everybody turns into spaghetti. Terrifying and delicious. But turns out that Loki survives the pasta dish attack because he's the main character. Oh, so what does he do? Well, he starts involuntarily time-slipping to the other characters' original lives. Are we gonna see Owen Wilson on a jet ski? Yes, sir, we are. That weird specific desire that we implanted in everyone's brains in season 1 is gonna be paid off, kinda. Oh, wow. Wow. So now Loki has to get the whole team back together and try to fix the loom again. A lot of loom repair attempts, but Sylvie doesn't want to help. Even though she's been told that her reality will stop existing. That's right. Wow, she kind of sucks, huh? Gonna be tough to get her to join if that doesn't convince her. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yes, eventually her reality does turn to spaghetti, so then she decides to help out. Ugh. So they try to fix the loom again, but everything turns to spaghetti because they're too late. Mamma mia. But then Loki figures out how to control his time slipping, so he sets out to fix this loom earlier. So what does he do? Well, he spends centuries learning about physics, but every time Victor goes out, he still turns to spaghetti. Why does Victor the human have to be the one to go? Why can't Loki the god go? Well, because Victor's the one who invented this thing, so if there are problems, he can solve them. Can't Loki have Victor troubleshoot through a communicator? Hey, shut up. So then Loki goes to see He Who Remains at the end of time, who's like, hey, he can save the loom by killing Sylvie before she kills me. Right. But Loki's like, I will not kill Sylvie. She's the best. She's not. So then Loki realizes he can destroy the loom and rejuvenate all the timelines and make them into a tree-like structure and hold them. How? Magic. That works. So now he's essentially sacrificed himself to
which is completely believable. Exactly what I talked about at the very beginning is there is no way in hell. First off, the fact that Loki is saving the world, that, you know, like, I just can't wrap my head around this. And for a moment, it makes me feel like it's original. Like, this idea is original. And for one fraction of a second, I'm thinking, yeah, this is really well written. And then, boom, the cynic just, like, hits my brain. And I'm like, what are we talking about? It's Loki. They completely changed what Loki was from the comic books. Loki was like a mischievous mofo. That like, to see Loki become a good guy, there was so much. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I feel like it's a Disney inspired kind of thing. It's fine. Keep it in Snow White. Keep it in Cinderella. Keep it in your classic Disney stuff, man. But don't you start infecting my Marvel. Just don't. I don't think Stan Lee would have been behind this.
See all the timeline branches all alone at the end of time forever and ever. Wow. Well, we've come a long way from the Loki that attacked New York City like a week before this. Yeah, like a week ago, but also centuries have passed since then. It's a big character transformation. Major transformation.
Is it actually in the official comic books where Loki saves everyone? Macabre's telling me up. Macabre's like, hey, listen, I hate to break it to you right now, DG, but it is in the official comic books. Is it?
And he truly did replace a sewing device. Well, don't say it like that. Sorry.
So what do you think? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, honestly, I think it's great. You know, you have a show with a distinct voice and a unique style, focusing on characters. It's good. Thank you. It's really good. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that nothing could put a damper on this. Hi everybody, Ryan George here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know with everyone's busy schedules, it can be hard to find the time to sit down and watch something of this length, so thank you, and don't forget to wipe and wash your hands.
What? All right, it's time for a DG360 Spotlight. John Baum. Hi, John. Good to see you, bud. Says, you made my day, Mr. DG, if that is indeed who you are. At least wear a fake mustache to fool the audience. You know, a lot of people joined in the mustache phase of my life, and now they're looking at me wondering, who is this man? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Would somebody tell me who I am? Pepe, you know? No, you don't. Okay.